I got one more. That want to?
Yeah, you go ahead and do one, and then I got one.
Okay. Scholarships for minority students hit with lawsuits over white male exclusion. A nonprofit organization is taking legal action against 2 scholarship programs designed to support underrepresented minority students, claiming they discriminate against white applicants. The group, Do No Harm, is targeting the Society of Military Orthopaedic Surgeons, E. Anthony Rankin Scholarship Program, after a white male applicant identified as Member A was allegedly excluded from consideration. According to the lawsuit, Member A was barred from continuing the application process solely based on race. The E. Anthony Rankin Scholarship, aimed at underrepresented medical students, connects participants with U.S. military hosts at 2 medical centers. Over the 4-week program, students can receive up to $12,000 to cover expenses like travel, housing, and daily per diem, according to the program's website. In the legal complaint, the applicant expressed frustration, stating Member A was hurt and dismayed that SOMOS would use his race, which he cannot control, to preclude him from participating in the program and learning from some of the country's most distinguished orthopedic surgeons in service of our nation's military and veteran communities. Now, let me start by saying this. Trump already kind of poked his head out of the hole and let us know this was coming when he said that he's going to probably look into doing reparations for white students who were not given scholarships based off of their race. Another thing I want to say is he's saying he's hurt and dismayed by him not being able to control his race. What do you think that black people have felt for hundreds of years? So you just really made a case for reparations and why we should receive reparations. Because if you're hurt and dismayed by not receiving this scholarship based off of your race right now, imagine what's been going on for hundreds of years and still continues to go on in this country. What has set us back as being a race for hundreds of years, economically, socially. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, black folks need to just make our own spaces and go about our own business. Don't worry about those. Don't go to these weird colleges. Go to HBCUs. Mm-hmm. Don't bank with these other banks. Bank with black banks. Don't spend money with other groups. Spend money with your own group. I mean, we all know that we could tell this was coming. I mean, black folks are getting in there without these scholarships, and now this is a minority group now is feeling the pressure of what it's like to actually have to work for something. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Instead of it just being a given to you. So, I mean, I can see it, but I mean, like, you know, I'm not in the days where I'm complaining about none of this stuff no more. We know what it is. We lived in America all our lives. We know what the history is. We know how the world is here. And once we start taking our money and moving it away from them and doing our own thing, we'll be better off. And we need to stop trying to, you know, those days where the people were like, you know, integration and the segregation is stupid now. Stop going to, if people don't want you in their restaurant, don't go there. If people don't want you at your gas station, don't go there. But don't invite other people either. We need to stop being so nice to everyone else. Regardless if you didn't like Kamala Harris or not, as a black person or whatever, she didn't win. And you know why she didn't win? Because the people looked at it and it was like, I'd rather just stick with my own kind. And that's what it is. So, I mean, as soon as black people start doing that and stop letting people look, as soon as we stop letting people in our spaces and we stick to our own thing, the world will have to come to us and be like, please, can you be nice to us? Because America ain't cool without us. No way.
I mean, I'm bigger than that. Not bigger than that, but on top of that, what I'm seeing here is that this is exactly the route that it's already been foretold that they're going to take this route to end any kind of advancements for people who have been marginalized in this country for a very long time. They just took a separate route, and I'm wondering if they use this not just this situation, but this actual orthopedic surgeons, you know, this whole entire group right here as like a catalyst for what they're going to do next, which is they're going to take it to court here, whether they win or lose. That's whatever state court or whatever. They're going to go to federal or whatever. And then after they win or lose there, then they're going to go to the Supreme Court, which they know they got a 6-3 majority. And then they can strike this down across the nation where this is no longer a thing, where no college can say, okay, we're going to have put in this many applicants from this race. So now I can be racist, because you got to remember who provides the most money probably to any endowments in the United States. Probably white people. You know why? Because they've had the most money for a very long time. You know why? Because they were slave owners for a very long. They were slave owners. They were given opportunities that we were not given, and other standpoints. Not all were slave owners, but a good piece of them were, and so we got to remember that. That's why most of them own sports teams. It's not because they're better with money than we are. It's because they had more opportunity than we had. That's just period what it is. So what do you think this is going to all evolve?
Like, you've had the same opportunities too. I'm like, hey, well, people kind of burn successful black cities. It's known history in America. I mean, which they're going to try to erase.
You can't even. The lie is.
You know how you hurt the colleges? Stop sending your children there. Stop sending your kids there to play. Send them to an HBCU. If they don't want to watch us, we can make our own app, make our own channel, start an HBCU channel, watch our own football, basketball, and all the sports, and keep the money with ourselves.
If the best schools, though, are right now these other schools, and they're most fun, they have the most. It's like sometimes, am I going to go to the place where, I'm like, okay, these are my people over here, but if my life's at risk or something, but I'm going to go where the best service is right now, I got to go there. You know what I mean? It's just,
how is it the best service? Because if they're going to do this in the field of college, right? That means it's going to leak over to the business side. So you ain't going to be getting, you can go to these nice prestigious school, but then when you try to go get a top job in one of their buildings, they ain't got to hire you. So you still got to come on back to your people. So I'm saying, bro, black Americans piss me off. You do everything else better than anyone else except for get revenge and get back. Everything else. It's always, let's forgive, turn the other cheek. Stop turning your cheek. The only time you should turn a cheek is to fart in someone's face. Other than that, I don't want to hear it. Use your economic power. We're $1 trillion people.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I say this kind of like, I don't want this.